You have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. Won the House, won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform, and a lot of times that people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency they are going to get what they voted for, and that's what democracy is all about.
Musk, the world's richest man with billions of dollars in federal contracts, has been given enormous power. His Department of Government Efficiency already accessing at least 15 agencies.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. And the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts. When it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president I know has directed you to look into, Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that we would not let him do that segment or look in that area, if we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest.
But I followed up.
If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense, is that
we
a
definitely need
conflict
to
of
do
interest?
Are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. Let's face it.
Musk and Trump have complained several of their plans are stalled in the courts, raising concerns the administration may defy a judge's orders. Today, the president told me that won't happen.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply with that order?
Abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum.
As Musk's team tears through government agencies, Musk today acknowledging he has sometimes posted misinformation about their findings.
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes.
And David, there in the Oval Office, it was clear